Hey, it was yesterday morning, 4th of July. I had this dream, and this dream was very vivid. I had full, you could say, free will. You know, certain dreams you do and certain dreams you don't. This one I had full free will. I was fully conscious. It felt very real. But I had this dream about Cern and the abyss where the locusts come out, and the smoke and ash and all that stuff. I was even shown the location of where this abyss was. Very surprising. And so I was going to share this dream, and you know, I just asked for your discernment, and if the Holy Spirit leads you to just share anything that He leads you to, if you got anything you want to share that may edify this or help me out, because some of this I understand and some of it I don't. Just by all means, help me out. But as far as this dream goes, I was in a different type of home. Like, I wasn't in the home I am now. I was in a different type of home. And it was me and my mom. And I was upstairs in this home, and I was looking outside the window. And it was daytime. The way the sun was positioned, I would say it would be like maybe 1 or 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock or so. And I was looking out the window, and I looked at the sun. When I looked at the sun, I noticed that when I looked at the sun, it wasn't blinding me. My eyes weren't hurting. And I look over, my mom was there, and I was telling my mom, I was like, hey, look, when I look at the sun, it doesn't hurt my eyes. And all of a sudden in the dream, I could zoom in closer to the sun was, and I saw that there was like this, it looked like a big rock in front of the sun. It looked like you know how those big asteroids have the little craters in it, but it was like, it wasn't fully eclipsing the sun, but the sun had about like this much left before it was eclipsed, so the light was still shining. And on this rock, I think the important part wasn't this rock that I was seeing in front of the sun, this meteor, if you want to call it, but what was on it. It was like God put a sign on it. And on this rock, it said Google Earth. And I was like, okay. And I looked at this rock a couple of times, because from far away, God gave me a better vision of it when I zoomed back out. Before I understood what He was showing me, I would start seeing like almost like a demon face on the rock. But then I zoom in, and it wouldn't be a demon face. Then I zoom out, and it would be like almost like a shape I couldn't make out. Then I zoom in, and then it finally said, Google Earth on it. And just for your information, I never go on Google Earth. I never do that stuff. I don't do or look into any of that. I don't even know how to get there. But in this dream, I did. And so I go on Google Earth in my laptop, and instantly, like, I just go on the application or whatever it's called, and it instantly takes me to CERN. I go straight to Europe, and I'm shown the CERN with the circle, the hydrogen, I don't know what it's called, the collider thing, and it's blue, and I see a whole bunch of grass area, and then I see northeast of it, there's another like crater. And what I mean by crater is like there was a huge divot in the ground, and it was big, about the same size as CERN was, and it was northeast of it. It was a big divot, or indention, you could say, almost like a sinkhole, but without the hole. Because what I mean like by this is like the divot, it still had the vegetation. You still saw grass, leaves, trees, all of it. It wasn't like a meteor hit it. It wasn't like there was destruction there. It looked just normal, just that there was a valley. And so when I saw this, I instantly knew in the dream, I was like, oh, that's the abyss that the locusts come out. And Then the scene changes to where I'm actually in Europe, and there's 3 other people. It's a Caucasian man, another Caucasian man, me, and a Caucasian woman. And we're all walking towards the edge of this divot, this valley. And we get there, and we're looking at it. It looks normal. I could sense a spiritual presence, almost a spiritual evil there. And we're all standing at the edge of it. None of us would go down in it. None of us would. And we're all watching it and just observing. Just, looking around, observing it. And then the girl to my right that was walking with us, she says something, and she starts to channel demons and energy from this abyss. And right when she did that, I instantly knew, my discernment was like, oh, I got to get out of here. Got to get out of here, because what she's about to do, I don't want to be near any of it. And so as she starts like doing this chanting, whatever, I'm not going to do it because it's evil. Right as she's like in the midst of it, I turn around and I start walking really, really fast away from her. And as I'm walking away, I automatically feel the demons start entering this woman. I automatically feel the demons trying to attack me on my back. And it was as I started walking really fast away from her, the other 2 Caucasian men, who didn't seem to have so much discernment or knew what the evil was, were following me because they knew something, they felt something bad happening, but they didn't know what was going on as much as I did. And so I'm walking away, and I could feel that there's like demons trying to attach to my back, and I start rebuking them, and I attack them. I get rid of them. I clear them out. And I'm walking away, and then all of a sudden, I'm like walking, it's all grassy. We're walking the woods, and just away from it. And we start walking up to kind of like this hill on the left, above higher ground. We're going up higher ground, basically. And all of a sudden, my mom shows up out of nowhere. And she's like kind of talking about the situation. I think in this dream she kind of represented like almost the Holy Spirit almost. Because she was telling me like, yeah, that was a lot of evil that was happening over there. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then she was like, yeah, there was some demons that were coming out of there trying to attach to you. And I was like, yeah, I could feel them. I know. And I was like, I defeated them. I got rid of them. And in Jesus' name, of course. And after that, we're still walking up on this hill type place. And the 2 men who weren't so discernment, who didn't seem to know exactly what, they just knew that they were kind of scared. I wasn't scared. I knew what to do. I had, God was with me the whole time. But these 2 other men were kind of scared, and they almost made fun of what was going on. They started reenacting and laughing about what the woman was doing and how crazy it was. And they were kind of like, wow, it was really weird what she was doing, and they felt scared, and they were doing stuff like the world would do. And the scene changed to where I ended up back at that divot where the abyss was, and I'm still on the edge of it. And the 2 guys, Caucasian guys, started like going inside the divot and started reenacting what she was doing, like it was poking fun at her. And I'm just standing at the edge, not doing anything, just observing. Because in the dream, I knew how serious it was. I was fully aware what she was doing, what this place was, and how dangerous it was to even be here. But, God wanted us there, so we're there. And so these 2 guys were kind of laughing and joking around and reenacting what she was doing. And did anything else happen? I think that's the end of it. Just trying to look over my notes. No, but that's it. And then I woke up. So that's the end of the dream. Like I said, this was one of the most vividest dreams I've ever had. It was different. It was like I could hear and feel everything. I it was almost like I was already there. And so my interpretation of what I know that in the beginning of the dream, that rock and that was eclipsing the sun, it was a symbolism for a lot of things. God put a sign in that rock where it just said Google Earth on it. And I knew what that was. So it's a sign. But that rock, it wasn't like a planet. It was just a symbolism of what's going to happen. I know back in 2014, God showed me this Planet X, whatever you want to call it, is going to eclipse the sun and cause a lot of bad things to happen. I've had multiple visions of this Nibiru, Planet X, whatever you want to call it, that NASA is finally admitting now is going to eclipse the sun and do a lot of things. And so it was a symbolic of that and a sign that, that this planet that's coming in to eclipse the sun is also connected to CERN, which is also connected to the abyss. It's all connected. Maybe God was showing me when this eclipse kind of happens, the abyss is about to open up, or CERN is going to be a key to the abyss. It was very fascinating when God showed me this, and I even had an angel confirm this to me the day after, that's where it really was. That's where this abyss is happening. A lot of people think CERN is the abyss, and I did too. But I think now that CERN is more of a key to the abyss opening up. I think it's more of a process to this happening. It's not the end result, but it's the starter in the process, amongst other things, as far as the book of Revelation talks about this happening. What else? I think I represented in this dream, once again, the church, the awake, watching, spirit-filled Christians who are aware. Because immediately, it was like she couldn't, like the woman beside me to my right, she couldn't finish her chanting before I knew what was going on. I felt it. I felt it in my spirit first, and I was like, I already knew. And so it's like resembling those who are awake and are watching. We're going to know. We've been waiting and been informed by God so much that before it's even finished happening, we're already going to know. I think that's what He's trying to show us. As far as the two men, I think that's just the world. They're going to knock it off and play as a joke, as they do so much of God's warnings, as they do all the things God has made signs about. They joke it off, they get scared, and laugh it off. They don't take it seriously. And then you have the woman who was enchanting stuff, doing all this channeling of demons. Those, it's like the enemy wanting it. Because this woman knew what she was doing. She didn't say a one word the whole time until she got to that spot to do that channeling stuff. And so she knew what she was doing, and that's what the enemy does. He's waiting for that right moment. And I think that's like just different groups. You got the awake, you got the world, and you got the wicked. You got the wicked who are going to do it and provoke it and try to cause it and waiting for it. And like I said, I think my mom in that whole time was representing the Holy Spirit, because it was like she was with me when the sign was shown to me in the sun, and then all of a sudden, as I was running away from what was being manifested, she automatically just shows up. She didn't follow me to the abyss spot. She just showed up afterwards, like kind of how God does that. He's with us through the whole time, and at certain points where we may need comfort or guidance or instructions or revelation, He shows up and shows us. And so that's the dream. If you got any, like I said, any wisdom, anything, revelation from the Holy Spirit, I am more than willing to receive. But you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.